So you probably heard about the hit Michael Jackson biopic. It was a film that celebrates the king of pop's extraordinary music, largely left out the criminal case that came to define the final years of his life. But now, a new #1 Netflix docuseries is putting that case back under the microscope. Netflix's Michael Jackson: The Verdict debuted last week at the top of the TV charts, drawing 17.8 million views in its first 5 days. The three-part series revisits Jackson's 2005 child molestation trial, where he was accused of sexually abusing then 13-year-old Gavin Arvizo at Neverland Ranch. Now, Jackson denied the allegations. He was acquitted on all 10 criminal counts. And even so, it became one of the most heavily scrutinized legal sagas in pop culture history. And this series takes another deep dive into it. It features new interviews with jurors, prosecutors, defense attorneys, journalists, people who were inside that courtroom. And it also includes explosive claims, including one from a former Jackson employee who alleges the singer watched child porn videos with his assistant and was asked to dispose of a bag that contained child sexual abuse material. There's also a revelation from former Jackson family attorney Brian Oxman, who says that Michael asked him to dig up the accuser's family skeletons, work the defense believed became central to its case. In fact, here's a peek at the trailer for Michael Jackson: The Verdict.
I was juror number 8. What has to be proven is beyond a reasonable doubt. Can you doubt that happened?
Michael was scared to death.
I knew we were watching the potential demise of a superstar.
I found the smoking gun. I believed Michael was innocent, and we were going to prove it.
Is he guilty or is he not guilty? Finally, we're going to get some answers. Please keep an open mind and let me have my day in court.
So does this documentary add new insight? Does it change the way we view the verdict, or does it simply revisit a case that the jury already decided? Joining me now is Brian Oxman, who served on Michael Jackson's defense team, represented members of the Jackson family for decades, featured prominently throughout this new docuseries. Thank you so much for taking the time. Why was it important for you to be a part of this series?
It's been 20 years since Michael Jackson was accused of this whole mishmash mess, and yet our fascination with this man, his incredible music, that he was really the greatest entertainer of our time and maybe ever, it just will not abate. It won't go away. I am a friend of all the Jackson family: Mom, Dad, Jermaine, Jackie, Randy, Tito, LaToya. I mean, the Janet, it just doesn't end. And when these accusations are made against my friends who I've defended for my whole life, I cannot let this go. It is all personal to me.
And do you think the series accomplishes that? Do you think it changes the narrative or changes people's perception of it? Do you think it adds something new?
I think it is the same hatchet job that we have seen in other documentaries, where people who have no clue, no understanding, no knowledge of the facts of the case come in and cry crocodile tears. Oh, the boy, he made such a convincing story. Look, you haven't seen the evidence, the documents, the presentation of where these people were, where Michael Jackson were. He was never together with this family. He didn't touch this boy. And when Michael called me after he was indicted and said, "Brian, we got to do something," I said, "Michael, we have to overturn every stone, every rock from which these people crawled out from under, and we will find the evidence." Well, some people say that's skeletons. Some people say that's dirt. I say it was the truth. We found the truth. Michael Jackson never touched this kid.
What do you make of the allegations that I mentioned before, that he was watching child pornography, or had this magazine where he was circling, ordering child pornography material?
We interviewed these folks. Vinny and Frank were prominent individuals involved in the case. They were unindicted co-conspirators. Never once did they make this kind of an accusation. Never once did they say, oh, Michael Jackson touched me. Oh, Michael Jackson touched members of my family. Nonsense. They were supposed to be the protectors of Michael Jackson. And now, 20 years later, after being asked over and over, did Michael Jackson ever do any of this? And the answer being no, now, 21 years later, oh, yeah, he molested all the members of my family. Oh, come on, it's nonsense.
How does the family feel about the docuseries?
They are hurt by all of these accusations. You have to look at it and say, how would you like your child to be pointed at and say, weirdo, molester, freakazoid, all of these things? And he's not here to defend himself, but he's your child. He's your brother, your sisters. They look at this and go, I never saw anything. But most important, the evidence showed that Michael did not touch these children. He has never hurt a child anywhere. He's my friend. I knew him since the 1979, since 80. I was aware of discussions in the family. I went to weddings, to funerals. I spoke at Joe Jackson's funeral and I said, I'm a brother from another color. I knew who these people were. I knew who Michael Jackson was. And in the family, this was all an absolute travesty and a joke.
We have about 45 seconds left. What do you think was the key, in your opinion, the key thing that was left out of this show?
Oh, millions of items, millions. They wanted this to be a he said, she said deal, where the accusers would testify and Michael would have to refute it. And the night he was indicted, I said, Michael, if this is he said, she said, you lose. They have a 93% conviction rate.
No.
We need to turn this into a document evidence case. And the documents showed Michael was never together with these children. The evidence was overwhelming in his favor.
So, Brian, let me tell you, I don't think the Michael Jackson conversation is going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, they're talking about making another movie. Will you come back on, talk with us about it?
He is the most controversial figure in our memory, maybe in our time. And the answer is, I will defend him because I know, believe, and can absolutely tell you from a personal level, this man was innocent. I will be here to defend him.
Okay, open invite. Brian Oxman, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.